So you know the work that you do, what it means to our clients, and it makes all the difference in their world. So we're just super excited about this. We're going to have a little celebration 2 weeks from yesterday here at our office, and also at the Brecksville office. So just keep that in mind. You'll see something coming out about that. Couple more just quick announcements before I turn it over to our first speaker. In the back, when you came in, there were some handouts, so hopefully you grabbed the agenda. Please feel free to take notes on that. If during the presentation we don't answer a question you have, jot it down so you remember to ask it at the end. If there's something you really want to share with us, jot it down, because we'll ask for that at the end. Also, our next events coming up we're super excited. We're going to have a line dancing party here. Our own Wanda is going to be right over here.
That's me. Y'all know. We can come to me all y'all want.
That's right. So we're going to get these tables and chairs out of here and get you all moving. Yeah, that's right. But I will say, this is a hot program. We already have a lot of people signed up. And because we're going to be moving, we have a limited number of seats. So if you haven't signed up and you're interested, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. It's next Friday night, the 15th, maybe?
Yeah, 15th.
Is that all right? 5:30. We'll have some good snacks, and it'll be a lot of fun. So that's coming up. And then we're also doing a class on COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, that a lot of our clients deal with. And we've never offered that class before. So if you're interested in that, we also have a sign up in the back. It's, I think, July 28th at 9, 1, or 5. So just wanted to mention those. And I think I'm turning it over to Caitlin to share a little bit about from Human Resources.
Wanda, I want to know what the dress code is next Friday.
Oh, the dress code.
Comfortable.
What are you wearing? Cowboy boots?
Just comfortable.
I gotta ask. All right. So our referral program. So if you refer someone that is hired, they attend orientation and they attend and work a shift, you'll receive a $50 bonus. Once that person is with the company for 30 days, you'll receive an additional $75 bonus. And then once they reach 90 days of employment, you'll get an additional $25. So a total of $150 for any referral that you make.
So they still have to be vaccinated?
Yes. Yeah. So, and I know that kind of gets tricky too. When we're saying fully vaccinated, we mean step 1 and 2. All right. Insurance. So who qualifies for medical, vision, and dental insurance? So we still offer Reliance, which is the hospitalization coverage, but we also partnered with Cigna and MetLife to offer a larger group of coverage for health insurance and dental and vision. To qualify for insurance, you have to hold 32 hours weekly and maintain that throughout the yearly period. Open enrollment is in the spring, so April 1st. And then I can tell you a little bit more about cost and all of those things, answer any questions, talk about the plans. So see me afterwards if you guys have any questions. You can also qualify for benefits if it's not during your open enrollment period, if you've been with us for some time. It is after your first 90 days of employment. All right. And then some other reminders. Homestead dress code. So I know things are getting hot. It is summertime. We want to be comfortable, but just make sure that you guys are showing up to clients' homes dressed professionally. So watch those leggings, no shorts. You know, a lot of our clients are older in their years and they don't always want to see what we wear. So just make sure you're going to a client's home professionally. Our dress code truly is medical scrubs, tennis shoes or nursing shoes. So just make sure that you're wearing safe footwear. You know, I don't want you guys to fall. No slides. Crocs are okay as long as they have that band in the back to kind of keep your foot in. But just make sure you're putting out a professional appearance to your clients. The Clear Care Go app, make sure you're clocking in and clocking out. That's really how we're ensuring that you are at your shifts each day and on time. I know that there's some glitches, so if you are having an issue with your app, call the office. We just need to know that you're having a problem so we can try to resolve it, but really it is caregiver's responsibility to clock in and clock out on a regular basis. And then punctuality, just a reminder, I've had a lot of conversations recently on how punctuality affects clients' days or how they affect their perception of care overall. So just make sure you're being mindful of showing up to your shifts on time. We've spoken with a client recently where the caregiver was running late and it was causing her a lot of stress and anxiety. And then those shifts would just be off to a bad start from the time. So just keep in mind the clients are really structured once they come to a certain age and they're expecting you to be there on time. So just keep in mind how they're experiencing things. All right, and then passing it off to Terry.
Okay, the ever most important topic of how you get paid. Okay. Okay, we're going to talk about PTO, our paid time off. You see it on your check stub. It says vacation pay. First of all, we're going to start off. Does anybody, you see the green papers in front of you? Does anybody know what that is?
You should have gotten a little green paper. It's yours. And it's Lisa.
That's fine. Okay.
Does everybody else have a little green sheet of paper? Was it?
Does anybody know what that is?
Yeah.
What is it?
Probably the time PTO.
That's the hours that you have right now, currently. So if you ever had a question, we're going to go over it right now, okay? If you have any questions, let's wait till we go through it first and then we can ask all the questions about PTO. All right, so your availability. PTO, paid time off, is available to every Care Pro. You begin earning PTO as soon as your employment starts and may be used after 90 days of employment.
You do not have the PTO to start. You start earning it based on the hours you work, which I think it accumulates at a rate of 0.0385. So it's based on the time you work times that number.
Okay, so how do I earn PTO and how do I know how much I have? All Care Pros earn PTO based on their hours worked at a rate of 0.0385 per hour. And that you work that, it's also, if you're on overtime, it accumulates through your overtime. You can earn up to 80 hours of PTO for the year.
So all Care Pros start at that rate. Care Pros who work full-time, approximately 40 hours a week, are eligible for up to 80 hours of PTO.
Okay, and your current hours of PTO are listed on your pay stubs each pay. There's a box on the top of your pay stub and it'll tell you, there's the calculation, it'll tell you the number of hours you can use.
Get direct deposit.
You could still view your pay stubs online. We're going to go through that too. All
right, so full-time Freddie works about 35 hours per week for the entire year. So 35 hours a week times 52 weeks would be 1,820 hours. So then when you calculate the PTO, it would be 70 hours PTO by the end of the year. So that's paid out by your base pay.
That's for full-time. But part-time Patrice, she works about 20 hours per week for the entire year. So 20 hours per week times 52 weeks is 500 hours. So that turns out to be 19.25 hours of PTO by the end of the year. That's for part-time.
I have a question. Does it roll over or no?
It does not.
No.
At the end of the year, which let's go through this slide because this will give you the answer. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll read it. Use and scheduling of PTO. PTO can be taken in increments as low as 2 hours.
PTO must be scheduled at least 2 weeks in advance.
And then PTO is not available for last minute call off, so we would like to plan in advance and find coverage for your shifts.
So this is to answer your question, to cash
Sorry,
out.
Before you go there,
Yeah.
sorry, I get questions all the time from caregivers about, well, if I wanna use PTO in 3 weeks because I'm going to Bora Bora, who do I speak to? So who do they let know when they're ready to have some PTO
They
use?
usually request off through the scheduler, just so that the scheduler is aware, but then they pass the call through to Terry, to me. And then I put it in and we talk about how many hours they have to
So the
use.
scheduler is the first thing.
Yeah.
Is this the first year for PTO?
Yes, it is. We just started in January.
Well, we appreciate it.
Oh, great.
We used
Awesome.
to do that bonus, like at your review time, and it was set on if you were a full-time employee, if you made it to 5 trainings, if you had certain other requirements. And we just felt that it would be a blessing if we gave it to everybody who's working hard, whether you're full-time, part-time, and that you can accrue it the way needed. But still, if somebody's looking forward to that check that they used to get, you know, once a year, we still have that availability. At the end of the year, you can do it either way. You can take the time or you can take a check. And it actually comes out to more money than you would have normally gotten on a bonus working full-time anyway.
So, answering your question, cashing out at the end of the year. So in December of each year, employees will receive the option to elect to cash out their PTO earned in the current calendar year, and we'll pay that out in January. Okay? So any time that you haven't used, you'll still get a check at the end of the year.
So the only time that it wouldn't be paid out would be termination of employment. So in accordance with Ohio law, no one will be paid out for accrued PTO upon resignation, separation, or retirement. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind.
Also, a question would be, what if I have a car expense? I know I have a week of PTO, or I have 2 weeks, can I take out a week of that? So if you call Terry, she might say no, but if you call Margie,
Yeah.
she might say yes. Like, things happen in our lives. Is it used for that? No. Am I bringing up a bad subject already in front of her? Yeah. I mean, call us. We also have Tap Check. If you use Tap Check, that's also a way to take out funds. But we're always available in any case of hardship. You know, we're here because we care about you guys as you take care of others too. So.
Absolutely. Viewing pay stubs. Did we get a handout for that?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
It should, yeah.
There's the instructions.
Yeah, and there's there's a sample on the back. Does anybody need one of these that talks about, pay? Sample pay templates?
Okay, so I get a lot of calls about how can I look at my pay stubs. If you are set up for direct deposit, you normally, if it's set up correctly, if not, and there's a problem, you normally will get on the day of payday an email that says do not reply at Pay Plus, and then you open that up and your pay stub's attached. If you're not seeing that, there's always a way to go online. You can access your pay stub through www.payplus4hisc.com. The first time that you're setting it up has to be on a computer. If you don't have a computer, you're welcome to come here and I'll help you set it up. After that, you can access the website on your phone. So the instructions you have, you can take home. Your username is capitalized first initial of your first name, lowercase last name spelled out, last 4 digits of your social security. Your password would be capital first initial, lowercase initial of your last name, and last 4 digits of your social security. So that's the username and
So
password.
Betty White worked with us for a while.
Yeah, Betty White. Any questions about that? Okay, a lot of questions about caregivers and mileage. If you drive your own personal vehicle on behalf of a client, you will be reimbursed now 62.5 cents per mile. Okay, so you're driving them to appointments. You are taking your own car to the store, running errands. Report your mileage through your app. Okay, you must enter the total miles and give an explanation in ClearCare on that day you drive. A lot of times, Darlene does the billing and she'll be calling you guys. She just sees a number for mileage. We're not gonna pay it out unless there is a reason for the mileage, okay? Because we don't pay you to go to a client unless, we're gonna go over that, unless it's over 15 miles in a short shift. So care pros who are assigned to a short shift, which is 5 hours or less, will be reimbursed 62.5 cents per mile for anything over 15 miles. So you're working a 3-hour shift and you're driving 17 miles to get there, we'll pay you 2 miles there and 2 miles back. Okay? Is that understood? Any questions about payroll, mileage, pay stubs, PTO? No? Okay, thank you.
All right, now all the fun stuff. Okay, so learning and development. All right, so as you know, we have been offering lots and lots of trainings, way more than we used to. So every quarter, we send out this lovely flyer of all of our trainings. These are all our in-person ones, so these are all the ones that happen in this office. So we strongly believe that coming to these classes help you professionally as a caregiver, but also with your clients, because a lot of the classes that we offer have, you know, specific health-related diseases that your clients may be facing, so it helps to be more prepared for your shifts and for you to feel more confident at your shifts. So when this is made, we send it out via your email, and then I usually say, hey, like send a blast and say, hey, check your email. If you don't get it, we can always email it to you, but we also have these available at the office as hard copies. And then before, like a couple weeks before each training, I'll send out a reminder blast, so if you want to come. So I think I sent one today about the line dancing, and there's a sign-in sheet in the back for that if you would like to come. So yeah, well, we're always sending out reminders, so if you don't get the flyer or you forgot, you know, when certain things are, just look out for your blast. That's the easiest way that we use to communicate upcoming trainings. So you are paid for the time that you are in here. So typically our classes are an hour, so you'll be paid for that hour. You also get attendance, like, you know, it counts as one of your 5 classes. Social events you're not paid for, but you do get tokens. So like, for example, the line dancing, you won't get paid for that, but you will get, I think that we said 4 tokens. So it's just a little bit, you know, you get to learn and you get to earn an extra hour of pay. You also are required to come to 5 classes per year. So, you know, we have like 3 or 4 a month. We try to do, you know, obviously everyone has different schedules, so we can't make it perfect for everyone, but we try really hard to do them on different days and different times. So, you know, obviously it's not going to be perfect, but so 5 of those a year, and then 1 of those can count as Empower. So then you could come to 4 in person and then use 1 as an online for Empower. So some classes, and then some we do record. Michael has been our lovely film guy here. So he filmed some of ours. I think our most recent one we just did was an arthritis and chronic pain class. So sometimes they are offered on YouTube. Okay, so moving on to Empower. So we also offer online classes through Empower. This Empower starts for now. All our new hires also have been taking those. I'm not sure when that started, but all of our new care pros are starting to take 3 sets of Empower classes. So they're all seeing that for the first couple months. And then after that, we assign you guys each a new class every month for Empower. It's not required or mandatory, but it is just a different way of learning. If you can't make it into the office, or you want it to count as one of your classes, it is a way to get your learning, and you get paid for that hour as well. And then you will see that in your pay. Terry, does it say Empower or online?
Yes, it says Empower.
Okay, so that gets out, that is paid to you the first paycheck of the month. So you're paid up to an hour of Empower a month. So if you take 5 hours of classes, you only get paid for 1 hour of those. So like I said, we assign you one every month, a topic that we just thought would be interesting. You're welcome to request others as well, and then someone from the Learning and Development team will accept the request. So if you have a client that has some health issue and you want to learn more about it, and if you find something on Empower, you're welcome to request it. So yeah. And then, not everyone has computers or tablets, and that's fine. You can do it on a mobile device, but it's a little easier to see it on a laptop or a computer. So if you ever want to come into our office, we have computers available for you to do that as well. Just call one of us. All of us here are typically here between 8 and 4 daily, anyone from Learning Development. So we can help you with that. Any questions about in-person or online learning? Nope. Okay.
Molly, I'll just add, in Empower, if you haven't been in there, as Molly said, we do a recommended class, but I see some people in the room who have really taken advantage of it in Empower. And in addition to classes about health issues, there are things that would be beneficial to you as a person, maybe. There's things about taking good care of yourself, stress management, quitting smoking, some of the challenges that face all of us to just take good care of ourselves. So if there's something you see that you're interested in, you just put in a request, we approve it, and then it's available to you. So it can be personalized. Diane?
In Power, like say you start the class, you're not able to finish it, is there a certain amount of days that you can come back to and pick up where you left off? Can you come back like next week and pick it up?
I believe you can, because I've done that when I'm looking at classes to try to figure out what to assign, but I don't know if there's a certain window, but I'm happy to look into that and let you know.
Some of the classes are different times.
Yes, yeah.
Sometimes I try to get back into it and I had to start all over.
You have to start at the beginning. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend, if it's an hour-long class, try to set aside, okay, I know I have an hour and 15 minutes right now that I can work through this, because I don't know if it saves your place, and that would definitely be frustrating to get 40 minutes in and, yeah, have to start over.
Right now, finishing up, it's like, oh, I forgot.
Right.
I have time to do that.
Yes, yeah, so I'll try to find out an answer for that. Thank you.
All right, so new and unique to Homestead Cleveland East is our TULIP program. So this is just a bunch of opportunities to earn incentives and start earning our tulips. So we have incentives that include pay raises and then also tokens or gift cards. So a lot of these classes that we have in here we've offered before. So some are already established classes. Others, like the COPD, is new. So some we've never offered here before. So yeah, this is also just a way to publicly acknowledge all your accomplishments, because you guys are working so hard, and a lot of you do really come to all the trainings and do Empower. So this is kind of just a way to recognize you and appreciate you. So in the packet, which you guys all have, there are 5 tulips that you can earn. So there's dementia care is our purple tulip, advanced personal care is our blue tulip, health issues and diseases is our pink tulip, green is commitment to professional growth, and then our yellow or gold tulip is home instead core values. So each tulip has a list of things that you need to do in order to complete it. So we keep track in our office. If you tell us you're interested, we start to keep track. But you also can use this if you want to kind of keep track of the dates that you attend things and what you still need to accomplish. The one that we've seen the finished, or I guess the most tulips that people have gotten so far is the dementia one, because a lot of you have already taken the in-person Alzheimer's class, and then once you do that, you just have to take 3 Empower classes. So that's an easy one to kind of get started on, since some of you already are halfway through. And then the advanced personal care one, Michael has been working really hard to put together some trainings that you guys can come and be assessed on. So This one includes a lot of different skills that you use with your clients, like working with clients who are bedbound, using a gait belt, the mechanical lift. So he's putting together a program, and we have some days that he's doing this training on. They're 2-hour shifts that you can sign up for, and you will be assessed on these skills here, and then once you pass, you can get a 25-cent per hour pay increase. So if you're interested, the slots are filling up very quickly. I think we only have one day in August left, but we have a couple in September too that are coming up, but we've only scheduled through September. So if you are interested in getting this, let us know and we can put you in a slot. So that's that one. And then health issues and diseases is just more classes. A lot of you may have already taken these before, and if you have taken them, then you would just have to take a little Google quiz just to say that you took it, you remember what you learned, and then you'd be checked off. So if you've already taken it, you don't have to take it again. We just need to have a quiz. And as we've been doing these new classes, we've been doing the quizzes in person. So if you take one of these classes recently, you'll have already taken the quiz. But if you took one like a year ago, we weren't doing that. So, but I can send you those quizzes if you're interested in that. And then that also results in a pay increase. The commitment to professional growth. This one is just that you're really into and want to be engaged in learning. So you're doing 6 hours of Empower. You're attending 3 certain classes in addition to our 5, and then a self-directed learning. And then the core value one is kind of the hardest one to get. You have to have at least 2 other tulips, been with us for 3 years, and then just some like behavioral things as well in there. So everything is very laid out clearly in here. If it's not, you can give us a call. If you're interested in starting, call Learning Development, and we can start seeing like which tulip would be easiest for you to start. But yeah, does anybody have any questions about the tulip program? No? Well, if you think of anything, we can answer. And I think, all right.
Who's going to be up next? Emily, I think. But before you get started, I just want to make sure, did everybody get a chance to fill out a ticket for the raffle? We're going to raffle off gas gift cards. So if you didn't, just raise your hand. I'll bring you one. And just put your name on it. Yep. Something back here, something.
What was your name?
I wrote it.
Yes, very
Anything else? All right, great, thank you.
All right, now that you've heard us talk for a long time, I'm Margie. If you haven't met me yet, shame on me. This is Emily. Welcome. Emily's out in the field at the hospitals, in the rehab centers with their clients, talking a little bit about why Home Instead is the best that there can be. And of course, we always know why Home Instead is the best. Anyone want to share why Home Instead is the best?
Yeah, 'cause I work here.
That's right. You're absolutely right. I mean, that's what we say every single day. And you'll see these training programs, our communication. Everybody, we have 300 caregivers. Everybody has a different reason for being here. Everybody has a different want. Some of it's a second job. Some of it's their main job. So we're trying to encompass all we can do at the same time to support you. Whether it's PTO training programs, if this is just for a couple years of your life and you want to learn, then we're here for you. But what we need is your feedback. So Emily wants to hear a little bit more about what she should be telling at the hospitals and rehab centers and people who are calling about us. And I want to hear about people that you work with. Like, what are some shout outs that make us the best? Again, it is you and everything that you're doing. I mean, the professionalism, it is. Like, it really is. You guys are top notch. I mean, you are.
You girls.
We're not just saying it. Like, we come in every day to support you and try to think of how we can help and what can we do better. And it's really for you guys. It really is, I promise. So questions that we didn't cover or shout outs that make us the best. or someone that you work with that you see what they do or something that you do that's different. Please, it's time for you guys to chat.
I have a question.
Yep.
Question that wasn't brought up. How do you know how many tokens you have? How do you know?
Good question.
How many tokens you have?
We could, there is a video that we can watch afterwards if we want.
But,
No, I'm just saying,
but you can call, actually Jordan I've passed the token torch. Jordan, she's holding it high. You could just call and ask, anybody in learning development, we can look up on the spreadsheet and say, this is how many tokens you have.
Wondering, because I will talk about.
Absolutely, right, I'm glad you asked.
How do
Great
you
question.
receive the token?
How you receive them? So,
Can we play that little, how long is that little video?
It's a minute and a half.
Can you watch this great video that Mike put together on tokens?
There you go. Because it explains how you can get the tokens.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You always send them a message.
Yes, so while Michael's pulling that up, when you reach 30 tokens, you get 3 extra hours of pay in your paycheck. You don't have to ask it, it's automatic. So Jordan now is tracking that, and at every pay period, she looks at anybody that hit 30, and then she says to Terry, this person, T. Williams, earned 30 tokens, pay her 3 extra hours of pay. And what does it say in your paycheck? Does it say something?
It says token pay.
Oh, okay.
And I got an email saying that
Yes.
and I was.
Yeah, Jordan said, see? I can pull it up to turn up the volume. I turned it up.
Yeah, I think there's something else on it.
Oh, yeah, turn it.
Oh, so you know how you always receive the text, the blasts, offering tokens? Well, this is the behind the scenes of what happens in the office with that. Oh, is there? Yeah.
I got shifts every.
There you go.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I really gotta get these shifts filled. Oh, I got shifts everywhere. Heights, Broadview Heights, Menora Park, Brainbridge, to the facilities and homes. I'm offering 3 tokens to whoever can pick up these shifts. I got 5 tokens to anyone who wants it, 7 tokens, 7 tokens up for grabs. 12 tokens, 12 tokens for those picking up shifts. This is hot, I'm hot, I'm getting hot over it. 15 tokens, tokens, cash them in. Wait a minute. Do people even know what tokens are?
Yeah, come to line dance and you get 4 tokens next Friday night.
Does anyone have the tokens we used to hand out? That we turn them in? We used to hand out physical tokens at every meeting. You can get tokens too if you do an online testimonial. You go to Google, go to our website, do a testimonial. You can get tokens for that. If you want to do a video, Michael loves doing videos for caregivers who want to do a shout out about Homestead being a top workplace, why you love working here. And then we show it to caregivers when they're coming in as well, put it on our website. So all that is available. Anybody else have a question that we didn't cover? A shout out? Okay. Anyone coming to line dancing? That's right. Has anyone come to our sip and paints as well? Yeah, it was a good time.
That was nice.
Terry also highlights as the painter and the artist in the office. So if there's nothing more that I can help you with, you can chit chat, have some more food.
I got 1 minute.
Yes.
So I'm new to Homestead. So I started out in the inquiry department, so I was answering the phones and basically bragging about all of you and how great you are. So now get to meeting everybody. It's absolutely fantastic to meet you, see some beautiful faces, and really have like even more of a fire to talk about you guys. Now that I'm kind of done with inquiries, I work very closely with them because I am going outside in marketing. So like Margie said, I'm in the hospitals, I'm in facilities, I do some care consults as well. So still being able to talk about you guys is my main priority. So going into hospitals, knowing if you have clients, knowing what hospital they went into, what I can do is go to that hospital for you, check in on them, and then it's kind of like I'm a little person for you. I'd be like, oh my gosh, your caregiver just sent me. They wanted to check in on you, make sure you were okay, see when are you coming home, how are things. I can take them a thank you. So that's another big thing is knowing, kind of where they're going. If they went to a rehab for a little bit and get to come home. So I'm always that person out running about. So as long as I know where they're at, I can go see them. So again, any stories would be great. Anybody?
Because your work shows, right?
And it's a story I can say to a case manager or a director of nursing somewhere about how wonderful you all are.
I like going to my client on Fridays,
Yeah.
which is Carol Pitt's. Cause we have breakfast, we sit and talk, we read the day word,
Yeah.
we do Charles Stanley book. We talk about everything. She tell me how grateful she is when we come in here. It's me and Pam, with Miss Carol. And she just sit there, I'm like, well, what kind of movie did you record? But she got Lifetime movies and she sit and watch. And she's like, I just enjoy going there on Fridays with her. I really do look forward to going there on Fridays and being with Miss Carol. She's a really good person.
I have a question too. Are you allowed to like do things like, this is kind of, I don't even know how to ask this. Like do things with the client if you're not on the clock? No. The only reason I ask that is because my client is, she is wheelchair bound. And last week, her pastor, she watches it on TV. They watch it, so I set it up so they can see it on Sundays on TV. So last Sunday, he was telling them that they were gonna have this big church picnic. And he wanted all the past members, present members, founding members, and my clients are in their 90s, so they're like some of the founding members of the church. So her daughter and I were talking about, maybe trying to see if they could go. It's her husband and her. And I was telling the daughter that, that wasn't my Saturday to work, but I didn't mind coming to help her, like get her dressed and stuff, if we were able to put this together, because it's also her birthday, and she'll be 91.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wanted to, help the daughter, get her to the picnic, birthday hat on,
Yeah, they
the
can call in requesting for that day to have you.
Yeah.
That would be the way to get that.
And I have a friend who has an ambulance service, and so I've already talked to her about maybe using her van, because they can strap her in their wheelchair to get her to the church. So I just, that's what I do.
No, that's a good question. I think on a regular basis, we don't want you popping in if you're not scheduled on your clients. They want, we want them to know to expect you. So that probably wouldn't be appropriate, but something like that, absolutely. If you can make that magical moment happen for her, that would be such a special moment to share.
Special for her.
So I think probably, who's your client that you're
It's Bernie Simpson.
Okay, so probably talking with your client care manager and seeing if we can get her to get contact with the daughter. The daughter can absolutely call in, and we want you to get paid for the days that you're working too.
Yes,
So,
that's nice.
but yeah, absolutely, I
I
think
want to
that'd
try
be
to see
great.
if I can help her with with that. I think
When is that for?
It's on the 23rd, it's this month, it's on her birthday, and it's the church picnic. That would be
That would-
so
that would make her day.
nice.
Yes.
If I go,
That would-
God, that would make my day. So, I don't know, we're trying to see, I'm working with her to see, what we can do.
Well, that's an accolade you can take back to the
No, I
hospital.
know, that's
Yeah.
right? Perfect. I use that a lot. How many have gone to a wedding? Has anybody taken a client to a wedding? How was?
I've taken the client, and it was so beautiful. They were at the
Work,
botanical
but
garden.
beautiful.
It was.
Say, was it a lot of work, but beautiful work?
No, I mean, it was no, it wasn't even a lot of work. It was just so nice, and she's passed since, so just that memory is just like, it was her grandson, and it was just beautiful, and she enjoyed it. So you just don't think about the work, like she said, when you see how happy they are. And I do believe, had I not gone, because it was a situation like if a caregiver had not gone, she may have not been able to go, because you want to take her to the restroom, you want to sit with her, you want to make sure she's okay, but yeah.
And it's hard because then a family member's doing that, missing all the special moments.
Right. And a lot of times it's a dignity thing, they're so bashful around their children, and it's so odd that they'll be so bashful for their children to be in the restroom with them. One client had 2 sons, and it was a woman, and she wasn't having it, and nor were they. They was like, "Oh no, you going in there and you help my mom. You go ahead in there. We so have you here, yeah."
Always the boys and the mom.
Yeah. So that's it makes a difference because they.
Yeah, I did, that was a weird one. She had a ball, she just was glad she could go. It was nice.
So I think those are good things.
What I was going to say is, I'm fairly new, very new, and I have an ongoing client, and, what was it, Monday, I walked into their home, and her son was there. He lives with his mom and takes care of her. So when I walked in, they gave me a card, and I'm just thinking it's a thank you card, because I go beyond what I'm supposed to do for them. So when they go, read it. So when I opened the card up, there was a lot of money in there. And
I'm sorry.
I mean, I started crying. I mean, my tears came into my eyes, and they just wanted to thank me. And I said, I cannot take this money. It's against the rules. So then I called the office, and they said, I have to fill out a form, whatever. So that was one day. The next day, she gave me a whole lot of jewelry. I mean, she's 93, but I mean, they are super. I love them. Her and her son.
She definitely loves you, Barbara.
Oh, yeah, you are family member.
Did you get an opportunity to fill out that form yet?
That's so nice.
Did you?
That's so nice.
We'll touch base.
Emily, I will tell a story. I was speaking with a caregiver at one of these events, and somehow, she said, okay, I gotta go, gotta get to the library. And I'm like, oh, are you a reader? Because I'm a reader. She's like, no, I really don't like to read. And I said, why are you going to the library? Like books for your kids or grandkids? She's like, no, for my client. And I'm like, well, you're not working right now. She goes every week to the library. And that may seem like a small thing if you do something like that. It is not a small thing. For somebody who can't get to the library anymore, to have one of you willing to do something like that, which is, in my mind, above and beyond, those are the kinds of things, and we have a lot of very humble caregivers, so they might not share their stories, but I hear stories all the time of the things that you all do that make a difference in the lives of your clients, so thank you.
Well, thank you all for sharing.
All right, well, we wanted to draw the cards for guests and cards, so.
So you need to draw two names.